And Legislate in the KI Guineas is going on by 3 or 4 lengths. Bezanova's running on, but Legislate, very impressive, won it by 2.5 to 3. But here comes Beach Beauty. She explodes into action the last 100, and Beach Beauty is home and hose. Beach Beauty won it, but maybe yes, hit the front. And it's maybe yes, not sulking on the outside, then Lana Falcon. Maybe yes, just the leader. Maybe yes has won it. The filly Espumante, Tribal Dance. On the outside, Shogunner, half the deficit is fighting back. Punta Arenas at the rail, but the filly is going on to score. Espumante won it.
Normans digs down deep over the last 150. Red Rays on the outside, but Normans is clear by 2. And Normans, Red Rays down the middle of the course. Normans looking to go all for broke here. Normans won it. But Via Africa, she's clear by 1.5 lengths. Fly by Night is coming home late. Fly by Night's coming home hard. Here's the post. I'm going to go with Via Africa by a nose. Carry On Alice is now going to try and reel him in late on, but Guinness continues to go from Carry On Alice, who's coming home late. Guinness is crying for the line. Guinness all out and pulled it off. Alboran C's all over her now. Alboran C and Rich Girl, but Alboran C steps into the ring and grade 1 success. Alboran C won it.
And here's Legislate with a long, lengthy stride. And Legislate hit the front. Race Chestnut the outside. Legislate's digging in. Race Chestnut's coming home powerfully. Legislate maybe just held on. In the fast lane, hit the front at the 200. Athena's on the outside. Along came Polly, but in the fast lane, and Athena in the fast lane continues to dig down though. And in the fast lane will win it. Wild One fights on. Wild One comes home powerfully. Alexander comes from nowhere. Wild One and Gothic. Oh, it's too close. Wild One on the inside and Gothic wide out. I won't split the two of them. White Line Fever's running on. Beach Beauty, King of Pain, the last 100. It's King of Pain holding them at bay. And King of Pain won it. Beach Beauty second. Bypass the 200 meter marker, and Hamizuka, Jetaglo's trying to come back for more, but Hamizuka's gonna win. Hamizuka to win as well. One Cool Dude, Sarissa, it's wide open the last 100. Down the inside, it's gonna go to One Cool Dude, won it. Close for second between Sarissa and Futura.
Mr. Whatever, Kingston Boy's coming at Varicate the last 100. Varicate digs in deep. Kingston Boy, Varicate kept up the gallop. Teasers on by. Go stand in the queue. Hot Ticket's 3 lengths clear. Tribal Dancers back second. Disco L, but Hot Ticket, he's certainly a hot ticket out here. He wins by 4. On Ash Cloud, who's looking to drive home Matikaya, but Dylan's Promise repelling all challengers out here, and Dylan's Promise not for the catching.
Inside the 200 from Distinguished. No Worries takes it up and is running strongly, and No Worries going out to score. No Worries won it by 3.
Half the deficit further back. Wiley Hall digs in. Legislate, they come together. Wiley Hall, Legislate's now alongside. Wiley Hall, Legislate.
Hamizuka's making a race of it, but Beach Beauty, she just keeps on fighting more, and Beach Beauty won it.
Harry Sun, one fine day. Africa Burn over the top. Africa Burn got them all. Alboran C needs the line. Bilateral's flying on the inside, and Bilateral got up from Alboran C.
Wild One is fighting back. Hot Ticket's going to do enough. Here comes Wave and Flag. Hot Ticket just won it. Master Sabina, Alexander's coming home powerfully on the outside. Master Sabina, here comes Alexander, but Master Sabina won it. Same jurisdiction and back it off. These are the two. Same jurisdiction goes on though, and same jurisdiction has won it. Powerfully Midnight Run and Copper Parade exploding through late. Copper Parade Fly By Night, but it's Fly By Night who won it.
Wave and Flag and Gold ready to torpedo them. Wave and flag wanted.
Here's an over King of Pain, but Futura goes, and Futura will win the Beast Beauty Champions Cup.
Angel hard up on the outside. Angel has his head in front. Harry's son's coming home hard. Jay is absolutely flying. Maybe Harry's son in a thriller. Bilaterals on the outside. Carry on Alice going to the line. Same jurisdiction. Well, not going to split them. Carry on Allison, same jurisdiction.
Jetta Glow and Jet Bell on the outside, Chingwezi, but Jet Bell's in front, and Jet Bell has won it from Jetta Glow.
The stars are gathering. Champions season.
The stars no longer shine, when the sun falls from the sky, I will be forever yours. You will be forever mine. Every evening in your eyes, there's a special star that shines. Each time I hear that lullaby, there's a special star that shines. Every evening in your eyes, yeah. Ooh, special star, special star, special star, special star. Ooh, special star, special star, special star. Ooh, ah, 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 ooh, ah. Special star.
A very good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Hearty welcome to the launch of Champion Season 2015. We welcome the stars both on and off the track to KwaZulu-Natal at this time of year. It's high drama. It's keen competition. It's definitely lucrative prizes and the pursuit of fame and glory. That's what Champion Season is all about. It is the National Championship of Horse Racing in South Africa, a festival where the margin between winning and losing is often scarcely noticeable or measurable, but where the outcome can mean so much. We are once again blessed to welcome horses, breeders, jockeys, owners, trainers, grooms, and indeed racing fans from around the country to KwaZulu-Natal for one of the great racing festivals of the world. We will also welcome many visitors, locally and from abroad, including a contingent of journalists representing various media from around the globe as special guests of Gold Circle at the 2015 Vodacom Durban July. To our local media, who are well represented here today from around the country, first of all, guys, it's great to see you again. And gee, it's impossible to believe how fast the time has gone by. It's impossible to believe that we stand on the threshold of Champion Season 2015. Has this year not just flown by? To you, our local media, whether it be the printed media, the electronic media, the digital media, a huge vote of thanks for all the wonderful coverage afforded this great racing carnival each year. No doubt, your continued dedication to the advancement of the sport of horse racing in general and Champion Season in particular. Gold Circle owes you a great deal of gratitude, and we also take this opportunity of thanking our wonderful sponsors throughout Champion Season, many of whom are represented here today. And of course, a little later on, we'll be announcing the first round of entries for the Vodacom Durban July, and I'd like you to join me in giving a special word of welcome to all of our sponsors here today. Champion Season spans May, June and July, and over the next few months, new heroes will emerge, and new champions will be crowned at the annual Equus Awards celebration in August. And as I say each year, the racing gods can't smile on everyone, but my sincere wish is for top quality horse racing to be conducted throughout Champion Season on a fair basis, and most important of all, in a spirit of true sportsmanship. On that note, ladies and gentlemen, it gives me great pleasure to introduce to you the chairman of Gold Circle, Robert Mavis, to officially welcome you.
Thank you, Graham. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the launch of 2015 Champion Season. Before proceeding, I would like to introduce the main table. Our special guest of honor, the MEC for Finance, KZN, Belinda Scott. Thank you, Belinda, for coming. It is a great honor to have you here. We have also on our table, from the Vodacom stable, we have Mr. Stephen Barnwell, Managing Executive. Thank you very much for being here, Stephen. We also have Mr. Moga Pele, past chairman of the chapter of Gold Circle. We've got Craig Pedzer, Director of Gold Circle. We have also Neil Butcher, Director of Gold Circle, and also Chairman of the Racing Committee. We have Hazel Kaya, Gold Circle Corporate Services. Hazel, welcome. We have Michel Nerac, CEO of the company. Michel, nice to have you with us. And I'd like to also welcome Mr. Alain Pereira from Canon, who is doing the fashion show for the July this year. Well, welcome. Last but not least, I'd like to say a special welcome to our youngest member of Gold Circle and ambassador, the one and only Bill Lambert. Well, the ship is ready to sail, and our future race destination awaits the visit by those equine superstars who will vie for top honors at the season graded races program. The champion season is where it all happens, and we are all proud to host this racing extravaganza. With us on board, we extend a special welcome to all our sponsors who have over the years partnered with Gold Circle in making this season what it is today. Great racing is a product of significant contribution made by many people in both time, effort, and money, and we pay tribute to all involved for their participation. To all the visiting and local owners, trainers, and jockeys, together with the media, who are vitally essential to making this feast of great racing in KwaZulu-Natal the success it has always been, and which I'm sure it will be again this year. We welcome you and hope that your aspiration will be met. Many of you are here today, have traveled from afar, and we thank you for taking the time to be with us in this celebration. The face of racing in South Africa, in particularly in KwaZulu-Natal, over the past year is changing, and we believe that Gold Circle has prepared the path for future generations. The racing fraternity and the public are embracing the changes, and I believe that we all continue to work together for the betterment of this great sport. We have a bright future to look forward to. The changes here at the Theatre of Champions have been dramatic, but they have brought stability to racing in this province. The new polytrack is serving its purpose, particularly where racing events have been retained but would otherwise have been abandoned. So the polytrack is indeed a great success. Gold Circle focus is on winning back the on-course punter, making the experience entertaining, relaxing, and exciting, and featuring racing of the highest possible standard that will enhance the appreciation of the majestic beauty, courage, and strength of the thoroughbred. Many of the country top racing stables have already migrated to our shores. We look forward to the participation of all the country best horses, their owners, trainers, jockeys, and grooms, and await the exhilaration of seeing them competing in action over the champion season 2015 and reaping the rewards of the significant stakes on offer. Now, in launching champion season 2015, I invite you all to join us at the captain's table as we set sail for the greatest racing festival on the African continent. I thank you.
Thank you very much, Robert. A couple of things have changed or been introduced to Champion Season 2015, and I think at this juncture it's worth remarking on them. Slightly ahead of schedule. You know, the season only starts on the 1st of May, but slightly ahead of that, and indeed tomorrow night, we go into uncharted waters. We're venturing onto the cricket field. Well, the cricketers are coming to Greyville as well. We stage our first 2020 race meeting tomorrow evening, designed just to offer a race meeting with a difference. We hopefully all travel smoothly and we get every race off on time, 20 minutes apart. And we'd like to take this opportunity of thanking everybody involved to ensure that this meeting has every chance of succeeding, particularly all of the trainers who have so welcomed the idea. We've also introduced to Champion Season 2015 an Interprovincial Jockeys Challenge, featuring the best 12 jockeys in South Africa going head-to-head at Greyville on the 18th of July. That is something that we really look forward to and will provide great excitement 2 weeks after the Vodacom Durban July and 2 weeks before Super Saturday. Look to your right. We've redone the Vodacom Durban July Honours Wall. I think the reigning champion is resplendently displayed there, And we've created space for at least the next 20 Vodacom Durban July winners, after which I guess it's not going to be our problem, Michelle and Robert. Somebody else can worry about that then. But it's come out fantastically well, and our thanks to Ken for organising and leading the team that brought about that change, so we can continue to honour our Vodacom Durban July winners for many years to come in the way that we have done for so many years in the past. The Vodacom Durban July, of course, is the flagship event in champion season. But the road to the Vodacom Durban July is so exciting. It's like the road to Wembley. It's the road to the Champions League final. You've got to perform well from day one to make sure that you're there on the first Saturday of July. So we look forward especially to the first Saturday of May, independent on Saturday race day, which features, of course, the KRA Guineas, the KRA Fillies Guineas, and the independent on Saturday Drill Hall Stakes, which officially gets Champion Season 2015 underway. And part of the reason that we enter so early for the Vodacom Durban July is to allow everybody the opportunity to be aware that these horses have been entered and to follow their progress through Champion Season. So without any further ado, we have 67 horses entered at the first stage of entries for the 2015 Vodacom Durban July. The theme, of course, as the chairman has alluded to, is the captain's table, and the ship is now seriously about to set sail on its path to the first Saturday of July. We'll announce the entries in alphabetical order of trainer, while at the same time honouring, of course, the defending champion, the 2014 champion, Legislate. The first entries for the 3.5 million rand Vodacom Durban July to be run over 2,200 metres at Gravel Racecourse on Saturday, the 4th of July, 2015. And we start off from the Highveld, the Turffontein-based stable of Gary Alexander, the son of Jalad, Mesa. He runs at Turffontein on Champions Day and will need a good performance there to take his mission forward. Also from the Highveld is trainer Michael Azzi. He's enjoying a very good run at the moment, and he's got the highly talented Deputy Judd, who runs in the SA Derby Saturday week and who was placed in the recent SA Classic Grade 1, and he's also got Greek Legend entered. What would the KZN season be without Mike Bass? He's saddled many a Vodacom Durban July winner, and at this very early stage, he has 3 entries. The rapidly improving Helderberg Blue, the dual Grade 1 winner, Inara. Don't forget, she won the Paddock Stakes and the Majorca Stakes earlier this year. And, of course, the son of Jetmaster, Mountain Master. From the Western Cape, but settled in firmly at Summerveld, is Brett Crawford. No, that's not a misprint. He hasn't entered a trainer to race on his behalf. He's entered a horse. The horse is called De Kock, and he's going to have to go on from here to ensure a place in the big race on the first Saturday of July. And talking about De Kock, let's go to his entries. Mike De Kock, he's got 8 entries at this early stage for the Vodacom Durban July. He is, of course, an international figure these days, and he's flown the South African flag so proudly wherever he's gone. And he's got, in alphabetical order, Akia Bua, Ertijol, winner of the Investec Cape Derby Grade 1. Here's a name that we might have forgotten about, but you might have seen him in action earlier when we showed you a glimpse of what went on last year. Jayed was beaten only a neck by Harry's son in the Grade 1 for 2-year-olds last season, and we look forward to Jayed coming back into action. Kingston Mines, winner of his last 2 graded stakes races over a bit of ground. He certainly goes the trip. And then the magical Majmu, champion at 2. Recent winner of the Grade 1 Empress Club Fillies Champion Stakes. Fantastic. She's heading for the Vodacom Durban July, but what was interesting was to read in the press that she's likely to take on the Colts in the Daily News and sidestep the Woolhavington, but we'll wait and see. Alongside of Majmu, Pine Princess, Scotsnog, and Trip to Rio, these complete the 8 entries from the very powerful stable of Mike De Kock. We again have pleasure in welcoming from the Western Cape our good friend Stan Ellie, who's such a terrific presenter on Teletrack. It feels like Punta Arenas has been around for so many years, and he has, and he comes back again for another crack. But he's backed up this time by the very talented Dynastic Power. From Ashburton, Paul Gadsby, the very consistent handicapper, Candy Moon, is among the entries for this year's Vodacom Durban July. And staying with Ashburton, his stable companion as far as trainers is concerned is Duncan Howells. And Duncan has the very talented filly, Same Jurisdiction, who performed with distinction during Champion Season 2014. She was most unlucky this past weekend when a malfunctioning starting gate interfered with her chances of being in the money, and she was thus declared a long runner. Here's a name you may not instantly recognize, but he's also at Ashburton. We welcome to KZN for the first time a very talented young man who used to be the assistant trainer to Jeff Woodruff, Johan Janse van Vieren. He has a wonderful stable of young horses, and he's entered the Dingaans winner unparalleled, and he's raiding KwaZulu-Natal from Ashburton Training Centre in Pietermaritzburg. It is a great pleasure to welcome here today Dean Caname. Where are you, Dean? Dean, let's give him a nice warm KwaZulu-Natal welcome. Great to have him here with us today, and he has flown out of the blocks. He's had such a one of April. I said to him earlier, I said, you've got enough money, now go home. He wasn't hearing any of it, and he's got a powerful entry for the Vodacom Durban July. Africa Byrne, who won a Grade 1 race during the season last year. Balance Sheet, and of course, his graded stakes winning stayer, Hot Ticket, who ran such a brilliant race over 1,600 metres just the other evening. Also from Dean Caname, the fast-improving youngsters, Power King and Solar Star, both of whom have made winning debuts in KwaZulu-Natal this season. So we move on to Glenn Kotson. He's got a single entry, the 3-year-old Light the Lights. Our good friend sitting across the way then, possibly even sitting next to Dean, unfortunately in the lights I can't see too well, is Paul Lafferty. I think let's give him a round of applause of what he's accomplished with Harry's son. Well done, Paul. But Harry's son is not here amongst the nominations. He's got this wonder horse, Double Clutch. I'm not going to repeat the story. He's a horse that's come from death's door to be nominated for the 2015 Vodacom Durban July. It could be one of those just great romantic stories that films are made of. And he's also entered a horse that he's just recently acquired, Run, Rhino, Run. The powerful Charles Laird stable has 3 entries: Bold Inspiration, Ice Machine, and Stormy Eclipse. And staying with Summerveld-based trainers, our good friend Com Naidu has Sabadell. He recently acquired this horse from the stable of Jeff Woodruff. Another man who's visiting KwaZulu-Natal for the first time this year and basing himself at Summerveld is Paul Peter. And he's got 2 wild cards here, 2 horses that you shouldn't underestimate. Amsterdam, who was placed in the SA Classic, Grade 1, and who runs in the Derby on the 25th of April, and the ever-consistent, the ever-game, ever-courageous Henry Higgins, and he runs in the Champions Challenge at Turfentine on Saturday, the 25th of April. It's going to be a pleasure to welcome Paul Peter to KwaZulu-Natal. Joey Ramsden, he's got 2 runners entered, the Grade 1 winner, King of Pain, and the fast-improving Australian-bred, the Conglomerate, and they too will be stabled at Summerveld. Then we move on to the very powerful stable, of course, of Justin Snaith, the trainer who won the 2014 Vodacom Durban July. And he's got 7 runners entered in alphabetical order: Orion, Dynamic, Fatura, winner of the Queen's Plate, the Lormerins Queen's Plate, and the J&B Met, and winner of last season's Beach Beauty Champions Cup. So Fatura certainly knows his way around Gravel Racecourse. In addition to Fatura, he's got Heartland. You couldn't help but be impressed with the manner in which this horse went about his business in a feature race at Gravel last Friday evening. And don't forget that Heartland is the full brother to Jackson. So he has the looks, he has the pedigree, and he certainly has the ability. Backing up those 4 runners, Jet Explorer, last year's winner Legislate, and the rapidly improving Ultimate Dollar. Joey Soma always likes to come down to KwaZulu-Natal. He says for a holiday, but he always means serious business. And he's got 2 live wires in the form of the very talented filly Athena, who of course is a past winner of the Grade 1 Fillies Classic, and Rushmore River, a very, very decent handicapper who runs in an MR 100 on Saturday the 25th of April at Turfentine. Cornet Spess has already tasted some success during this KwaZulu-Natal period. He came down to grab the money of a 2-year-old feature the other day, running first and second. And he's got 1 runner entered, the 3-year-old All the Bids, who runs in the SA Derby at Turfentine over 2,450 metres on Saturday the 25th of April. Lovely to have a Port Elizabeth entry. Jacques Stradum has nominated the Lammiskraal stud bred Go Get the Sheriff, who won his last race in Port Elizabeth by an ever-widening 6 lengths. Sean Tarry. Well, if you look at the board there, you'll see the story tells it all. He's won the last 2 races, both of which he's won for Chris van Niekerk. He's got a day's work of runners entered. And if bookmakers were pricing up on the trainers right now, I guess he would be a short-priced favourite to win the Vodacom Durban July this year. Okay, what have we got? Heavy Metal. As you see, winner 3 years ago. Halve the Deficit. Both of which run in the Champions Challenge on Saturday the 25th of April. Amongst his 3-year-olds, he's got French Navy. French Navy, of course, was the winner of the Classic just the other day and looks to follow up in the SA Derby. Legal Eagle, that won the Derby trial. Siren's Call, a daughter of Elusive Fort, who heads for Triple Tiara glory, having won the first 2 legs of the Triple Tiara. She goes for a Triple Tiara glory and the bonus that goes with it at Turfentine next Saturday when she runs in the Grade 1 Wilgeborgsdrift SA Oaks. And Tammany, the Australian bred. Also from the Sean Tarry stable, as we move on, we've got the Hangman, who suddenly found his very best form. The rapidly improving Trophy Wife, and the Evergreen, and I guess we're going to have the same discussion that I've always had with Sean at this time, is that White Line Fever doesn't stay. He's a 1,400-metre horse, but I guess for the next couple of years at least, Sean is going to try and prove us all wrong and get White Line Fever to stay the July distance, the Vodacom Durban July distance. So White Line Fever is once again back. He's a 6-year-old now, but he's a never-say-die 6-year-old. And, of course, also included in Sean's team is Gold Onyx, who ran so well in last year's Elan Gold Cup. Moving on to Gavin van Zyl. So we're back with the Sommerveld trainers, and he's got 2 entries, Dante's Legacy, and, of course, the past Group 1 winner, No Worries, who runs in the Champions Challenge at Turfentine on Saturday, the 25th of April. Jeff Woodruff. He's had another good season. He's got 5 entered. He's got Kalua Castle, Louis the King, Rakes Chestnut, who ran Legislate, last year's Vodacom Durban July winner, to such a close margin in the 2014 Daily News. And he's also got Shay Devon and Talina. Those 5 represent Jeff Woodruff amongst the first round of entries. Alison Wright, representing the ladies, with a horse that 2 seasons back won Grade 1 races here at Greyville, and then his career was seriously interrupted through injury. But it's great to see Kochka back on the right path. And last of all, Tyrone Zaki. I remember in this room a few years back when we announced the Vodacom entries, and we put a picture of Tyrone Zaki up there with the horses called Smungy Mungy. There was a bit of laughter in the room. They all said, "Who's that?" Well, he came within a whisker of winning that Vodacom Durban July. So never underestimate the very likeable Tyrone Zaki. He has got Judicial, the 4-year-old, nominated. So that then are the 67 entries for the Vodacom Durban July at this first stage, bearing in mind, of course, that there are 2 further rounds of entries. And just some info, general info. 67 entered. 13 colts. This is for the scribes. This is for the statisticians. 46 geldings. Only 8 fillies this year. No mares. So the 67 are represented by 59 males and 8 fillies. 28 3-year-olds, 20 4-year-olds, 10 5-year-olds, 6 8-year-olds, and 1 7-year-old, and that's Gold Onyx. And talking about old, how many people in this room can lay claim to having been at the Vodacom Durban July on course, in person, in 1936? Raise your hands. Only our friend Jack Ramsey. Where is he? He's back for another crack. (1936) was his first Vodacom Durban July, and he hasn't missed one since. And I was standing with Graham Bailey outside. We were chatting to him. I said, who won that 1936 Vodacom Durban July? And he said, St. Petersfield, the second, third, won it, second was so-and-so, third was so-and-so. I can't even remember from a few minutes ago. He remembers from 1936. So that is the statistical breakdown of the Vodacom Durban July field. The top 5 trainers' entries. Sean Terry's got 11 at this stage. Mike de Kock 8, Justin Snaith 7, Dean Kannemeyer 5, and Jeff Woodruff has 5. And now for another very important announcement. Having read out the entries, disclosed the entries, and their press media statements and press kits and everything available to all of the media on your tables already, and you all have your own copy of the Champion Season brochure, which you are invited to take away from you and peruse and go through. It's got all of the history of these wonderful races that make up Champion Season 2015. The racing committee met on Friday under the chairmanship, as you heard, of Neil Butcher. Another change since last year. I've mentioned a few, but here's another. That's going to require a reprinting of the conditions and entries for the 2015 Vodacom Durban July. A change that has happened courtesy of our chairman and his positive relationship with the city of Durban is that we have widened the back straight since last year by another 2.5 meters. We were granted land to do so by the city. So let's give the city of Durban a round of applause. As a consequence of this happening, subsequent to the program being published in the first instance, I'm delighted to announce that the field for the 2015 Vodacom Durban July will comprise of 18 horses plus 2 reserve runners. So 18 will race in the 2015 Vodacom Durban July. Isn't that great? Yeah. Right, ladies and gentlemen, we'll have lunch soon. I know you're hungry. But we've got some other very special guests with us today. They came to see us a little while back. They want Gold Circle to support them. They want Gravel Racecourse to be seen to be supporting. The bid committee of the city of Durban, they are pursuing a dream. It is a dream that will see Africa host the very first Commonwealth, the continent's first Commonwealth Games, where some of the finest athletes of the world compete for gold and glory, where the real values of the Commonwealth resonate with the indomitable spirit of heroes past and champions of the future. Almost sounds like I could be talking about horse racing, but I'm not in this instance talking about horse racing. Their mission is simple, and there they are. Take a bow, ladies and gentlemen, take a bow, stand up. We want to give you all the support we can. Some of you may believe it's a done deal, that Durban has got the Commonwealth Games for 2022. It's not a done deal, ladies and gentlemen. These brave people have still got to go and do their final presentation. I think it's in New Zealand, is that right? In New Zealand in September. And the backup plan, if we don't get over the line, is the same venue for the Commonwealth Games in 2018. Is that right? So we're not home and hosed yet. We all need to gather together and muster our support to ensure they succeed. And their mission is simple: present an unsurpassed bid document that will at once captivate the Commonwealth Executive and then rightfully allow the people of South Africa to be the hosts of Commonwealth Games 2022. And Durban is ready to inspire.
Durban, the soul of South Africa, the multi-layered, multifaceted, vibrant meeting point of dreams and realities, of struggles and triumphs. Located on the east coast of South Africa, our culturally diverse city epitomizes the true rainbow of South Africa. Durban is the perfect African city to host the 2022 Commonwealth Games, which has never been hosted on the African continent. Durban is the jewel in the crown of the Zulu Kingdom, attracting over 15.5 million visitors every year to experience its natural beauty, lush scenery, and grand leisure and entertainment facilities and luxury hotels and resorts. The city enjoys sophisticated infrastructure, an efficient road and transport network, iconic buildings, exceptional IT capability, and world-class facilities, including Africa's newest international airport. Durban has successfully hosted major international events at the Nkosi Albert Luthuli International Convention Center, one of the most advanced in the world. Delegates have been enchanted by the experience, impressed with its modernity and world-class offerings. Durban, our much-loved city, is where Nelson Mandela cast his first vote, bringing democracy and the promise of a bright future. We who endured the ravages of trying times now wish to meet the world on the water, on track and on field. For our spirit of endurance runs as deep as the ocean that laps our shore, showing the vibrancy of our sporting culture. Durban offers its best to athletes. With our existing sports precinct at sea level, Durban has what it takes to break records. Nowhere in the world is there a compact precinct with most venues within a 2.5-kilometer radius of each other. Durban has hosted 11 major international sporting events, and the world has acknowledged the city as the sporting capital of Africa. Sport runs deep in the blood of the people of Durban, who collectively play host to major annual sporting events. We breed champions that take on the world and bring the glory of gold back home like they did in Glasgow. Durban, South Africa's playground, is a modern, friendly city with a passion for sport, making it the ideal host for the 2022 Commonwealth Games.
I would say now they deserve a 9 on 10.
Commonwealth Games has never come to the African continent. We invite you to an unforgettable experience. Durban is ready.
The Commonwealth Games executive will be visiting Durban in July. Unfortunately, not during the first half of July, but certainly during the second half of July. And working with this wonderful team to my right, we are looking forward to hosting them right here at Greyville Racecourse on Super Saturday when we run the Elan Property Group Gold Cup. In the meantime, on behalf of the board, the management, the executive, the staff, and everybody in this room, we wish you everything of the best. May it go without a hitch. Right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for your patience. I'm sure that by now you are starving. Bon appetit. Enjoy your lunch.